everybody. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we are really excited today. We are here to talk about two more of our Thanksgiving Day Hallmark releases, Thanksgiving week Hallmark releases. We're talking about We Met in December and The Snow Must Go On, two very fun Hallmark movies. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Dory's here.
Hello, everybody.
Yay! How are you doing?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. I had a nice Thanksgiving. We've had some fun movies to watch this week, so it's been great.
Yeah. It has been. I think the quality over quantity for this year has paid off.
Yeah,
You
agree.
know, they and I'm very grateful because it is. It's just it's been a busy time for me. So not
Hmm.
having to cover 40 movies.
So nice this year,
Thank you,
right?
Hallmark.
Yes, thank you, Hallmark. We appreciate it.
Yeah. But it's very exciting in your world because I believe this is you all's for all the feels your 10th Christmas, right?
Yeah, this is our 10th
That is
season doing this, which is
amazing.
crazy. I can't believe it.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's wild. Yeah, I was thinking about it that so it's our ninth season,
Hmm.
and that most years I watch over 100 Christmas movies when you combine all of them.
Yep.
And so that just new films, we're getting the close where I will have covered a thousand movies, which
That
is
is
wild.
wild.
Yeah, I mean, I really should actually add it all up because I have
Yeah.
it on Letterboxd. I have all of my years, right? I've got them all on there, so it wouldn't be that hard to tabulate because
Yeah.
that's
I'd
wild.
be interested to know the
Yeah.
the actual number.
But yeah, 10 years. That's
10
exciting.
years. It's very exciting. Um, we started we started in 2016, that fall and winter, and
Hmm.
we've been going ever
Yeah.
since.
I mean, because they say the average podcast lasts 6 episodes. That's the average.
Wow, really?
So we both definitely beat the
We
odds.
beat the odds.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's probably impossible to answer, but like, do you have maybe like a favorite memory or a favorite thing, or how do you feel 10 years?
I think it's just been really incredible, all the life that we have lived in
Hmm.
those 10 years and kind of reflecting on everything that's happened, how much we've changed, how much the world has changed. Like we've
Yeah.
all moved, we all live in different cities now, and it's crazy that we still find time to gather, you know,
We got through
every
the pandemic.
winter. We got through the pandemic and we gather every holiday season and have this bond. We've created
Hmm.
this incredible bond, the three of us on all the feels.
Yeah.
So I think that's my favorite part, kind of the friendship behind the show.
Yeah. Well, that is one of the best things about podcasting is just all of the connections that I mean, you and I have become good friends. I mean, there's been so many people that have become very, very close to me over the years, and it's nice creating a hive of like-minded people, like the weird saying random stuff that I like,
I know the
you know.
community of it all is
Hmm.
so incredible. Like we
Yeah.
are just amazed every year that we come back and people care to hear what we have to say about
Yeah.
these movies and are invested in us as people. And we're
Mhm.
just so grateful to
Yeah. Yeah.
have such a fun, awesome community. And then, of course, like you mentioned, all the different podcasters and content creators in the space. And it's been really fun to see that grow over the years because I think
Yeah.
we both started when it was really small
Hmm.
and incredibly niche.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
so
you
that's
all
fun.
were the I mean there were a couple others that have faded. I mean there's been
Hmm.
a bunch of people who started and then realized, oh, this is a lot of work. I don't want to
Yeah,
do this.
exactly.
But uh that I remember when, of course, I was listening to the other because when we first started, the main one was actually After Buzz
Mm-hmm.
doing Hallmark recaps, and that's how I became friends with Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
But they were probably the most popular recapper in general of just
Right.
everything, and now they're completely gone for a long time actually. But that was probably the biggest one. And then I found you all, and I actually I referred to you as the Snarky Girls. That was
And
my
we're
name
still the
for you.
snarky girls all these years later. Still
Yeah.
the snarky girls.
but but yeah, it definitely has grown, and
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting to see all the people that have realized that, oh my gosh, there's actually some they actually are pretty fun. Like
Yeah.
I was just saying yesterday that I feel like I can make a convert out of anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're just like completely against the idea of romantic comedy, like you have no interest at
Interest.
all in a
Yeah.
romantic. But if you're open to the idea of romantic comedy, then I think there is a Hallmark movie for you.
Yeah. There are plenty out
Hmm.
there to kind of
Yeah.
scratch everybody's itch for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Savannah Carlisle and her new book, Christmas at Pine Ridge Inn. Cozy up this holiday season with a book readers say is bursting with Christmas magic, small town charm, and heartwarming found family moments. When a baby quilt leads Lila McAllister to Pine Ridge, Colorado in search of the birth mother who placed her up on Christmas Day 34 years ago, she expects to find answers about why she was placed for adoption. Not a cozy inn that feels like home, a stubbornly charming innkeeper, and a holiday season full of surprises, brimming with holiday magic, heartwarming emotion, and a setting as cozy as drinking hot cocoa by the fire, readers say this story will stay with you long after the last chapter. Visit savannahcarlisle.com to grab your copy and go on a mental vacation today. That's savannahcarlisle.com, Christmas at Pine Ridge Inn, or you can use the affiliate link below. Well, we did have two, I think, good ones. We met in December, and Snow Must Go On, and yeah, I think that both of these were really solid. I enjoyed
Yeah.
both of them. So let's dive in. Let's talk about them. So we met in December, and this actually aired on Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
so that's fun. And it stars Nell Mater and Autumn Reeser, and it's written by Nina Wyman. And you
Uh,
can tell that the
yeah.
star that
Yeah.
she wrote this because there were a lot of tricky things
Mm-hmm.
about this script
For
that
sure.
needed somebody good. Because I mean, the biggest thing is that they're just not together
Yeah. Keeping
for
them
very much.
apart for the whole time and maintaining that interest and that desire to see them get
Hmm.
back together is a tough needle to thread. And I think she did it
Hmm.
beautifully.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me in that aspect of Santa Summit,
Yeah, for
you know.
sure.
Like Santa Summit is a little bit more youthful and young in feel and tone,
Mm-hmm.
but it just in the sense they were able to keep that sort of chemistry
Mm-hmm.
going, despite them not being together. That is very tricky, and yeah, I was not surprised when I was like, oh, Nina, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, she did a beautiful job.
Yeah.
I loved how they incorporated the flashbacks to kind of keep that interest up. I thought
Hmm.
it was really
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah. So if people are fans of Nina's, she was actually our very first interview we ever did in
Oh
2017,
wow,
which
no
is wild. Yeah,
way.
yeah. And she is going to be our patron guest for December. So if you want to hear more about, we haven't decided what movie we'll be watching with her, one of her many, many movies, but we do every month for the patrons. We have either a Q&A or we call it a watch along, where you watch the movie with the talent and you get to hear behind the scenes of how they're made and all that fun stuff. It's really cool, and any patron level can join. So can join in with the watch along. So you should check that out. It's going to be fun. It'll probably be after Christmas that we'll do that. And yeah, so check out the Patreon. But Nina's great. We love her very much. And this one is Annie Lane and Dave Weeks meet in a holiday hotel, falling in love. They embark on separate quests to find each other, sharing wisdom and making significant life changes. The thing I liked about this is because this is obviously like somewhat similar to serendipity, not that they like invented that concept, but it's pretty popular. But the thing that was annoying, that's a little annoying about serendipity, is that they set out from the beginning to
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm going to put I'm going to put this in this book, and then we're going to like, if fate means whatever, then we'll find each other. So it was like a
Mm-hmm.
premeditated
Right. They
thing
did it on purpose.
on purpose, as opposed to this where they were going to be together on the plane and they were going to talk and they were going to whatever. And in this, because he overslept, he did the 7 p.m. That made me laugh. If for any Seinfeld fans, the
We've
AM
been there. Yeah.
AM PM AM PM. There's a funny episode with that, so it wasn't premeditated. So I found it less insufferable than in Serendipity. They really go for like the manic pixie dream, kind of in Serendipity, where
Mm-hmm.
she's all like free thinker and whatever. And so I much prefer this approach over that.
Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. I thought it
Yeah.
was, it felt believable in a sense, like you miss your flight because you set the alarm wrong, you're scrambling, and then you just miss that person or that thing
Yeah.
that you really wanted to do. It felt very
Yeah.
believable to me.
And I also like when they do finally meet up at the end, they're like immediately get out the phone, put in your
So
number.
good.
Like,
So good. He is like, I'm not wasting another minute. Give me
yeah.
that number. Let's get this going.
And this is also an example of, I think, when having the older cast actually makes sense and works, because it's kind of unbelievable if they were younger, that they
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't like immediately find each other on Facebook or
Right.
the socials, and they would immediately kind of, whereas like an older millennial more likely to kind of screw that up, I think.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So but they had this incredible starts out with this that they'd had this incredible day together. Had they had both been assigned to this hotel because they missed their flight, and so they just started like talking, and it turned into this incredible day.
Yeah, it was really fun to see those. And you kind of get the full story over the course of the movie about all the different things that they talked about. And you
Yeah.
really get to see them bond over that one day,
Hmm.
which is very cool to see.
Yeah, and I think it's a very romantic concept, the idea of it's like an extended meet cute almost.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm. Which I think is just like a very whimsical concept. It's
Hmm.
like somebody's out there, you might never know. Like you go into you get to late on your plane, you have this chance meeting, you have this, and that's what makes rom-coms fun, is when they get that
Yeah.
sort of whimsy in there,
Yeah.
which I liked.
Loved it.
Hmm. So she's a lawyer, he's in finance.
I loved that
Yeah.
because it was so funny when they were trying to find each other,
Yeah.
like a lawyer with her name, a finance bro with his name. She was like, "Do you know how many people have your name
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
work in
Well,
finance?"
and also because she goes by Annie, but her name is
Mhm.
actually Mary Ann.
Marianne. Yeah.
So it's even trickier than it would otherwise be. And so, but they each had given little clues along the way, like where she had said that she goes to this church, where there's a big, like a midnight, not a midnight mass, but that kind of a thing, big
Hmm.
thing on Christmas Eve. So there's that. There's other other little things. Talk about going to this Christmas tree lot.
Yeah. There's a cafe that she always takes her niece to.
Hmm.
There's a performance by a children's choir that he and his family always go to. So they've dropped all these little hints to each other over the
Yeah.
course of the day about like what they would do
Hmm.
over a holiday season.
Yeah. It's the Margie Kettle's hot chocolate.
Hmm.
I was like, that sounds good.
It does sound
I
good.
go there. And they even have this chance connection app, which of course,
Loved that.
yeah,
Loved that. Like missed connections. It was so,
yeah,
I love that she did that.
yeah, that was really good. We have throughout like I said, a lot of their conversation with each other. At one point he says, "Who takes care of you? Do you prioritize yourself?"
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
it can be hard in this sort of era where at least I know for me, like this working in kind of the gig economy, there's
Hmm.
always the next thing. And it's hard to know when to be like, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna relax. At least for me, it's hard sometimes to just let some things go. You don't have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Yeah, it's tough. And I think he's been kind of put in a position after the death of his father where he feels like he has to take care of everyone and kind of be that
Yeah,
man of the family. And I think that the holidays really brought it out of him, that kind of need to be the father figure for the whole family. And I think that that also can happen over the holidays. You feel like someone has to be leading the charge and keeping the traditions. And it was nice to see that she kind of saw through all of that to him and just wanted him to be okay and wanted someone to be there to help him out and take care of him.
yeah. And then they're close with their families, but in particular there's this pageant and show that's a part of the misconnection that they have, is that they,
Hmm.
particularly the one pageant, has two showings, so they're double booked.
Yes, yes. When she finds out, she's like, there's one tonight. Oh my goodness. And she
Yeah,
goes back. Oh, and they just keep missing each
yeah,
other. That scene is great.
yeah, that was it's really fun. And I thought that helping decorate at the hotel was a fun sequence.
Yeah, it was
And
very cute. It was a
very
nice moment to
Christmassy.
kind of get them to kind of, you basically see them on a date, like on a long
Hmm.
extended first date
Yeah.
at that day at the hotel. And I always, my favorite Hallmark movies are the ones where you actually see them date and get to know each other.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we got to see that with this one, even though it was a condensed timeline.
Hmm. And I think that again, this works for an older, more mature characters, that you would know, I think, pretty quickly whether you had vibes
Right,
with a person the
right,
older you get. That
right.
I don't know. Like in a way, I think the love at first sight is more likely the older you get. Maybe that's just my hopeful thinking. Because you
Well, it's,
know who you are, you know what you
yeah.
like.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You have a better understanding of yourself and I also think that they just had great chemistry
They
together.
did,
Have they
yeah.
been in a movie before together?
I don't think so. I saw an
That's
interview with them where they were
surprising.
saying, yeah, they never worked with each other. And and it was interesting because we were talking about with Steven Huzar's new
Hmm.
movie. I was talking about that. I he's such a very nice man. He's been super great to us, but he really struggles with chemistry, even when he was
Hmm.
with his fiance in a movie with his fiance. And like if he were to ask me for advice, I would have no advice. Like I don't know. It's not that I don't even know what I could tell him to do this, and you'll have. It's just something Boris like now later. It's like hard for him to not have chemistry.
Yeah, for
I can't think
sure.
of I mean, even those engaging Father Christmas movies, which I despise, he 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 had like pretty good chemistry with Aaron. That was not the problem, with
Yeah.
those terrible movies. And so, it's that's such an interesting thing about, and it's got to be frustrating if you're a rom-com maker because there's so many sort of ephemeral like things that just don't make sense and you can't plan
Yeah.
about romantic comedies.
Yeah. And that you can't predict.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. You're so right. Niall Mater would have great chemistry with like a brick wall.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and then others just it really just doesn't seem to work. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was very charming in this and they had great chemistry together. And I liked so they made her she has always loved fashion, but she's never
Hmm.
quite had the guts to get out there and really do it. And she wears clothes so well. We know
Oh my
that going all the way
gosh.
back to the Love of the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's right. I kept thinking of that movie when I
Hmm.
saw her style in this
Hmm.
one and like her kind of classic vintage vibe dresses that she was
Hmm.
making,
And of course, she gets corralled into doing the costumes for the pageant.
which was so cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
If
And
I,
it felt very real to her stage in life where you're kind of wondering what could I have done differently? What should I have done differently? Is there still time to kind of change course? Is it too late for me to go chase these dreams?
Mhm.
So I think that was very true to her, to that phase of life for her.
Yeah. I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Uncommon Goods. The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high quality finds you won't see anywhere else. Don't wait. The most meaningful gifts get scooped up fast, and now's the perfect time to cross names off your list. What I really liked when I looked at their website is that you can go to the exact category of the person that you're shopping for. So you can look for gifts for women. And then in particular, they have a whole section for moms, for grandmas, for wives, for teenagers. And within each of those categories, there's all these creative ideas. And I had a lot of fun looking at the teen category. I have some nieces and different things that would be fun to shop for. And I love the creativity in so many of the gifts. You've got create your own real viewers. You've got a photo and label printer. I definitely think there is something for everybody, and it's worth checking out their site. And it's also nice that when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/hallmarkies. That's uncommongoods.com/hallmarkies for 15% off. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. And then also with him, like he starts out thinking that he has to do everything for the
Hmm.
family, and he even gets the tree. And they're like, wait, we were going to do that all together. You didn't need to do that for us.
Yeah.
And that's easy to sort of feel as, especially as an older sibling. I can understand like feeling like, oh, I got to take all this on.
Right.
When
Taking
you,
charge.
yeah, when you don't. And so that, that all worked. He says, stop doing and start being, just be present with us, is what his sister says.
Mm.
And about the tree. And I really enjoyed the dancing to the Christmas lights that they have, and I I was proud of them in both of these movies because I know we have grumbled in the past about why are they slow dancing to Silent Night or whatever,
Yes.
but in this case they slow dance to the Christmas waltz.
Yeah. And there
Literally a
you
song about
go.
dancing, so
Yeah.
perfect.
There you go. That
Yeah.
works.
And then the other one was also an appropriate dancing song.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was a big win. And then they uh, they go to the Cranington Farms for the trees, and they both almost cross
Another
paths.
near,
Yeah.
I mean, another miss. They were so close to each other. I was watching with my mom, and at this
Mhm.
point, she's like, when are they going to get together? How
Yeah.
are they going to get together?
The I mean that the kiss scene in the elevator, that's a
Oh,
all-timer. That
A
was
plus,
so good.
A plus. It was
And
so great when he came back out of that elevator and grabbed her face. I mean, come on, so good.
yeah. It was really I think that's a very romantic concept of like, I really want to kiss you, but we're just gonna say goodbye because it's a first date or whatever. And then the rush back. I want
So
it
good.
anyway. Like that's very good.
So good. And they
Yeah,
played it
they
perfectly. That
did.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
hmm And then I liked the way that they went into like a split screen because then again
Yeah.
that also helped it feel like they were together even if they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked those moments too when they're both just like, I have to find her. I have to find him. So
Yeah, and
good.
this the split screen also had sort of an old Hollywood
Yeah.
vibe to it. Especially something like Pill Talk. It
Yeah.
had that kind of and I mean, really, this movie in a lot of ways had sort of Rock Hudson Doris Day kind of a
It
feel to it, I think.
did.
hmm
Absolutely.
Which I love. And so that was really fun. I also liked the little secondary relationship with Brady and his sister.
Me too. Me
That was
too.
really cute.
It was nice
You
to
know.
see that evolution too, where he was kind of on the fence about her relationship because it was fast, falling in
Mhm.
love with her boyfriend and later
Mhm.
fiance, seeing him
Yeah.
kind of come around to it as he's falling in love or realizing that he's in love with this woman. So very cool. I liked to see that relationship too.
Yeah.
I liked the whole family. Like I like the woman who played his mom, and I thought they
Mhm.
were all great.
Yeah. And the actor who plays Brady, David Pinnard, it's funny. We have been chatting on Instagram for a long time, and we just
Hmm.
have never been able to make the interview work. I'm actually interviewing him right after we record this, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. So I'm very excited to
Perfect.
talk with him, and he did. It just makes the movie feel a little bit more rich and a little more fun when you've got these secondary relationships that are
Absolutely.
enjoyable. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it helps him to kind of evolve as a character too because he has to like be he well, I mean it helps for him to evolve as a character because he sees that there's hope for his sister in their
Hmm.
relationship, so maybe there'll be hope for me and I'll be able to find, kind of gives something, and especially if they're going to be apart the whole time, you want these secondary relationships to kind of also have some romance too happening,
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure. And I also loved Autumn Reeser's friendship with her best friend in the movie. I thought that
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of served
that
the
was good too.
same purpose and kind of it was nice to see them grow as individuals all because of this one chance meeting. Like
hmm
it's one of those things where just one random day completely changed both of their
hmm
lives and we get to see that on an individual level with both of them
yeah.
and then of course when they come together.
And I mean, I really do actually believe that that can happen. I mean, I've had just the most the
Hmm.
most random things end up changing my
Hmm.
life and end up becoming a huge part of my life, like whether it's particularly romance, but like even the Hallmarkies podcast. Like when we first started the podcast, my friend Amber was definitely way more of the Hallmark fan than I was.
Hmm.
I had the podcast, and I had her on actually to cover Anne Green Gables, Anne with an E,
Hmm.
for and we were both Anne Green Gables fans, and we hated Anne with an E, and so we're like, what could we talk about that would be fun because we didn't like Anne with an E, and we were like we both like Hallmark Christmas movies, and this was in the summer, and so we're like, well, let's do an episode of that, and then people liked it, and but if we hadn't randomly connected over Anna Green Gables,
Yeah,
and the only reason we knew each other was because we were both fans of Survivor. So if we had
that's cool.
we were in a Survivor fan group, whatever,
Hmm.
and so that's how we become friends. And you just look at all those little things that had to happen for this thing that's like taken over my life for 10 years. It's,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
completely changed the course of your life.
yeah. So it can happen. I'll forever be hopeful.
Yeah, I believe it too. I believe it too.
My next plane delay, I'm gonna meet my now mater,
Yes, yes, that is the dream,
yeah.
ladies.
But but yeah, so the sister gets engaged. That was really sweet.
Hmm.
I also appreciate that. So she shows her boss the sketches, and her boss is like, "Wow, you're really talented. That's great." As opposed to, what you sometimes see with these, like just these unreasonably difficult
Yes.
bosses.
Yes, her boss is very receptive
Yeah.
to, and it was brave of her because,
Yeah.
her boss has seen her in this certain light for all these years that she's worked there. And
Yeah.
it's really, you have to be really brave and vulnerable to open
Yeah.
yourself up to that.
Well, and it's really hard to know as an independent contractor, as an independent businesswoman. Sometimes it's hard to know how proactive to be and when to, like, okay, I'm just gonna be patient. Even with certain things going
Hmm.
on with me in my life right now, I I certainly don't want to let any opportunity to pass by. But I also don't want to be like annoying, like
Hmm.
it's really hard to know that balance sometimes
Yeah, it's a tough, tough balance to strike.
because you're your only advocate.
Yep.
That's it, you
Yeah, it's
know.
scary.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, and especially if this is like a creative enterprise. So
Exactly.
putting her designs and her skills out there. They end up putting it on the radio, which I have a feeling that there was a scene that got cut
Hmm.
because like all of a sudden it's on the radio, and I was like, I bet you there was a scene there
Hmm.
of that all happening because it seemed like it
Yeah.
just sort of appeared,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
I like that she did that though, the radio
Yeah, it's
DJ thing.
cute.
It kind of gave me some fun
Hmm.
Sleepless in Seattle vibes.
Yes. Well, especially because I've been working in the radio this year. Starting in July, I was asked to be the substitute host of KSL Movie Show here in Utah, and that has been like the most amazing experience. It's really been a dream come true for me to be able to talk about movies every week. And I mean, I've
Yeah.
been a fan of the movie show since I was in college. I've loved the movie show, and so to get to be a co-host has been unbelievable.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, and if people want to listen, it's every Friday at 11 Mountain. But you can listen to there's a podcast version that's uploaded every week, and I think they're pretty fun. And during the holidays, I have a Christmas segment. So
Very cool.
you should all check it out. I'm really proud of it. And it's been amazing. But so yeah, the radio has been fresh on my mind. But you're right; it does kind of harken back to something like Sleepless in Seattle.
Which I watched right after I watched this
Oh,
movie
you
because
did?
because
Yeah.
I was like, I love Sleepless in Seattle. It's one of my
Mhm.
favorite rom-coms ever. And after watching this movie, I was like in the mood for something
Yeah.
similar.
I mean, Sleepless in Seattle, it is quite funny. It's more the side characters that get more of the humor.
Yeah,
Like I love David Hyde Pierce in that, and I love
so funny. And
rains.
Victor
It rains.
Garber
It
and Rita
rains 9 months out of the
Wilson.
year in
Rains
Seattle.
9 months out of the year in Seattle.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
And but I actually some of the things I like about Solace in Seattle are almost more the dramatic parts.
Yeah. Oh,
When
yeah.
he's talking about his wife, and I
That
and
scene
grief,
with
I breathe
him,
in and I
I
breathe
know.
out.
I know. That scene with him and his son, and they start far apart in the house, and they're both on the phone, and they
Hmm.
slowly walk toward each other, and they come together, and they're sitting on that bench. It's just like they're both putting their defenses
And
down. It's
when,
just
yeah,
so good.
he's like, I just had to remember that for one moment I had it all.
I
It's
know. I
so,
had a
but it
pretty
really captures the
perfect.
experience of grief
Yeah.
and I love when she's peeling the apple and she gets the
Yes, in one
oh my,
long
yeah.
strip. Yes. I know. And how
But
she's so emotional, like she's crying in the car when she hears him. Like she just can't figure out why she's having such an emotional reaction
yeah.
to this
And
man.
also I think that Sleepless in Seattle has po- quite possibly the best wrong guy. Because
Oh,
Bill
for
Pullman's character,
sure.
I mean, the only thing that he does that's wrong is that he has allergies. Like, how dare he?
That's it. I
He's
know.
like he's presented as like such like he's supposed to be kind of a loser, because he has allergies, and like or
Yeah,
like a diva that he's kind of a like oh
I know.
allergies.
That's his greatest sin is that he has all these allergies. Poor guy.
But he gets his what I love about it though is because he totally gets his moment though. I love when their big conversation break up and he says that marriage is hard enough without going into it with such low expectations. That is
Mm-hmm.
a great line.
Mm-hmm. And he
Yeah.
says he doesn't want um her to settle for him. He doesn't want to be the person that anybody settles for. And I mean, it's such a beautiful moment of him kind of like holding space for her and what she's going through, but standing up for himself and
Hmm.
understanding that he deserves better,
Hmm.
and that they both do. It really is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that of course Nora Ephron wrote Sleuths in Seattle, and I think the Nina has a lot of Nora in her.
Yeah, I think so
You can
too.
see that the way that she's able to develop the characters
Hmm.
and integrate the heart and the witty banter there. I
Yeah.
think you can see that inspiration in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. I also liked when she's showing the sketches. It was also very nice the way that she's like, I just need you to, will you be my mentor? Will you help
Right,
me? It was just a nice
right.
interaction. I liked that a lot.
Yeah. And that felt very like reasonable. Like she's not
Hmm.
quitting her job
Right.
and
Yeah.
putting everything aside and just going after this dream because it's kind of hard when you're older and you've
Hmm.
got a life
Yeah.
and a home and all of these responsibilities. So that felt good. That felt like a
Mhm.
nice,
Yeah.
right next step.
Did you watch the glass blowing one?
I sure did.
See, to me, that's the one that does a lot of these things badly. The way that it handled the mentor and the way that like it was like it made no sense for her to keep this a secret. Like it's literally an emerging artist booth. That's what the booth
Yeah.
is for. Like, why would
Yeah.
she keep that a secret? Like, and so the conflict made no sense. It was so dumb. I mean, I do think that that actress playing the boss was like really trying hard.
Yeah,
I
for
give her so much
sure.
credit.
For sure.
Like she was doing her best, but to me that is like how to not do a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Plus,
I
we
hear
know that
ya.
you love the glass blowing. It made me
Oh my
laugh.
gosh.
Your
I
favorite?
mean, the ornaments and everything were
They
beautiful.
were. Yeah,
I'll say that.
yeah. Even the clear ones because she
Yeah.
made those snowflakes.
Yeah.
I was like, those are
Gorgeous.
highly marketable.
They could have made glass
Yeah.
blowing cooler. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say. They could have made it a lot more interesting and cooler.
Uh, but yeah, there was a nice interaction between her and the boss, and yeah, and then they put it on the radio, and then she goes to church, and his sister buys her dress, and he
Love
sees
that.
it, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's her dress!" And so he's like, "I have to go to the Christmas market." And so he goes, and the
And they're
church,
turning out the lights.
yes.
Oh.
And then the church is next door, and I loved he ends up sitting right behind her.
I loved it.
It was so good, so good. And then they see each other and I'm like, we need to go outside. We need to go outside.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, we're not waiting another second.
Yeah. And they get each other's digits immediately. And that's when we find out that Annie is short for Marianne.
Yeah.
And we get, great kiss. And yeah, this was highly entertaining. I would give it like, I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5 crowns.
Yeah, so would I. I was thinking that too, 4.5.
Yeah. We'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the good folks at Aura Frames. And Aura Frames makes digital picture frames that become the ideal gift, especially for that person that is difficult to buy presents for. Aura Frames, you can give something meaningful that's also easy. And a lot of those meaningful gifts can be very time intensive, but this has that personalization, but it doesn't take a lot of time. You can preload images and video onto the frame before it ships. Plus, you can continually update and add new photos throughout the year. So this would be a great way to involve loved ones that are maybe far away, that don't get to be part of your everyday life. You want to share those experiences, those photos. You can, this would be a great gift for somebody like that because you can continually upload it through the year. You can also personalize the gift, adding a message before it arrives. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code Hallmarkies at checkout. That's Aura Frames, AURA Frames.com, promo code Hallmarkies. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell up fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. All right, so the next one is called Snow Must Go On. And this one is, it's director Jeff Beasley, who's done so many of these. He did Santa Summit, for instance.
Oh, nice.
He's great, yeah. And writer Scott Damian, Heather R. Provost, and it stars Corey Cott and Heather Hemmings. And it's Isaiah Hayward returns to Broadway after a decade, but faces challenges in finding a director. He saves a Christmas musical and discovers love, family, and friendship as the greatest holiday gifts. He reunites with his family and friends. I don't think that's the very good summary.
No.
He's not face challenges finding a director. He
No.
becomes the director.
He becomes the director.
Yeah, that's a bad summary. Not
Yeah.
IMDb fail. But what I think is interesting about this movie is that he's kind of a jerk.
He
for
is
Hallmark
a
movie.
jerk. He is a jerk. I started out the movie like I can't stand this guy.
Yeah. And I mean, it's pretty far in. Like, I was shocked that he goes to that audition.
I know. They take it that
The
far.
only reason that he got the audition was because of his finagling with being the star in the High School Musical for the musical for this to impress this woman. It worked. He got the audition. He goes in. Like, I was expecting them to be like, well, I was really glad that they didn't do the I just need to leave and not do the audition. I mean, it made sense because he's like, I need to talk to you and you need to leave.
Yeah.
That worked better. But I do think that's always so grown worthy of the businessman giving the presentation, but he stopped midway through and it's like, I gotta go make the recital.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was surprised too that
Yeah.
he was so insufferable.
Yeah.
For most of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different. I mean, and so I could see why some people might not enjoy this film, but I don't know, it still somehow worked for me. I still liked it.
It was goofy enough for me to get into it. Like, all the kids were funny.
Yeah.
The musical was ridiculous. It
Yeah.
was completely Randolph, the Christmas elk,
Yeah.
completely like it had that balance. Like, yes,
Hmm.
he was a jerk and he had issues for sure, but but on the other side, it was just goofy and silly,
Hmm.
all the
Yeah.
stuff with the musical. So that balanced it out for
Yeah.
me.
Well, and I guess it also felt somewhat like his choices felt reasonable in
Hmm.
their unlikability. Like it was like, okay, I understand why this actor would do that or why like it I don't know, it made sense for his character. So I was able to kind of be like, okay, I understand why he's doing that, but I was just surprised because normally
Hmm.
Hallmark heroes don't make selfish choices.
Yeah, 100%. And
Yeah. He made a
but I,
lot of selfish choices.
he sure did. But I think they set it up pretty well with like
But
the hustle you need and how hard the
yeah.
industry is. You kind of see how hard he had been working and
Yeah.
how tempting it would be to have this opportunity to get back on top.
Mhm. Well, I mean, that's the thing is that to be a creative, and I think he even says at a certain point, like you have to, you literally, like you are the brand, you are the person, you are, that you have to make selfish choices,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you're going to be successful, but you have to try to do it in a way that's not burning bridges,
Yeah.
which is
And
tough.
hurting other people. Yeah.
Yeah, too much at least. But yeah, it starts out with this one man show that he's doing. It reminded me of Tick Tick Boom, which I love and adore.
Hmm.
I love that movie, which is another movie where a character is kind of selfish, but I don't know, it works for me. I guess. That I think what I love so much about Tick Tick Boom is the idea of a creative person that has this thing that he wants to share, but people don't want it. And how do you deal with
Yeah.
that? Like that to me
Yeah.
is very easy to relate with and just so I love it so much. And you kind of got some of those same vibes here is that like he has this, he wants to share it, he wants and but people don't want it. And
Nope.
how to
It's
deal
just
with
his
that.
sister and his niece and the audience and an old man falling asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he finds out this big new Broadway musicals casting, and he gets there and he doesn't even get in the room, which is totally happens all the time because
Hmm.
they only have so many spots for equity
Yeah.
actors at these calls, and if you don't get in, you don't get in, and even if you do get in, like the chances, it's so hard.
So hard. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
gotta like suck too is that when you finally get that spot on a Broadway show, and then it's one of these ones that lasts like
The
2 months.
closes.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
gotta be the worst.
I know. It's like you were riding high
Oh,
for a couple weeks and then it's over. It's heartbreaking. It's
yeah.
honestly heartbreaking.
Like I was thinking about that with because they just announced the closing
The
of
Queen
Queen
of
of Sighs,
Versailles.
the
Yeah,
new one with Kristen Chenoweth, and you figure the people in that cast probably thought like, oh, this is going to be amazing because it's Stephen
for sure.
Schwartz, Kristen Chenoweth, like this epic Michael Arden directing, like it had all of the
It
ingredients
had
for a
all the
hit.
pieces. Yep.
So that's
Didn't
just
make it.
it's gotta suck, man. I feel for
Yeah.
all
Brutal.
all of you actors. You're incredible. I
We tip our hats to
Yeah.
you.
Well, actors and creatives involved on Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable. It's a tough gig, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the thing that's interesting with his character is that people see him as more successful than he actually is
Yeah, and
because
more
he had this
successful
big
than he
hit.
feels. Yeah.
So he had this big hit, which looked like basically it was kind of like Newsies, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. It looked like he had a little newsy cap on.
Yeah, yeah.
It was called ICU or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I think I could be wrong, but I think Corey Cott was in Newsies.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Somebody will probably fact check me on that. But he's Corey Kai is a Broadway actor. He's
Yeah.
done a bunch of stuff. He's great. And but yeah, that people will have the illusion of success that you don't really have. I mean, there's a lot of people
Hmm.
that we probably think are like are pretty successful, like Broadway, actors, things that I bet
Hmm.
are like on Snap, on food assistance, and things like
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
you don't realize because it's a
It's tough.
tough thing. It's really hard. Um, he says that he thought that they made me laugh that the political reindeer message would
That made me
resonate.
laugh
So
too.
that's
Oh my
like Hamilton, but
gosh.
Christmas.
That made me laugh too. That line made me laugh.
Yeah. And again, this sort of reminded me of Tick Tick Boom when he's like, it wasn't that much work. I only spent a year of my life on it. No big deal. Like, oh man. And that, I mean, that again, to go back to Tick Tick Boom, like that project that he's working on in Tick Tick Boom sounds absolute suburbia. Sounds
Hmm.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And you just think, oh man.
Yeah.
And I love the I love the PR lady in that movie when she says you just start writing again.
Yeah.
That's what writers do.
That's
Oh,
right.
it's oh
You're
man.
feeling it
Yeah.
yourself in your soul,
Yeah.
the creative.
Oh, man. Well, and especially because in Jonathan's case, the fact that he would die then like right before the
I
big hit,
know. I
so it has a
know.
special like dramatic irony and it's so bittersweet.
It is forever heartbreaking that he missed everything. Like
Yeah.
he missed.
He would have gotten the Pulitzer Prize. He would have gotten like,
Yes.
oh, it's so sad.
I know. I have chills just thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. But the relationship between him and his niece was very nice. And
Yeah.
that I think also helped him
She
feel more
definitely
likable.
humanized him for
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
She gives him the sketch at the beginning,
It's very
and
cute. Yeah.
yeah,
And
the
she's his biggest supporter. Like she
yeah,
sees through it all.
yeah,
She's like, she says, I just want you to be happy. And if getting you back on Broadway is what's going to make you happy, then we're going to do whatever we
yeah,
can to get you there. And I
yeah.
mean, you can't beat that.
Hmm. And I also liked his relationship with like his friends and support, like with Noah, his friend
Mm-hmm.
Noah, who's doing scenery for the Broadway
Mm-hmm.
show,
Mm-hmm.
and then they end up coming and helping at the end. That also makes the character sort of more likable, easier to root for.
Yeah.
Yeah, these friends. And I laughed when he gets fired from the caroling job.
Me too.
That was
Oh
funny.
my gosh, that was
Like,
brutal.
oh
Leave your costume in the locker or whatever.
yeah,
Terrible. And it's just it's just adding insult to injury. Like he had this
yeah,
horrible audition that he couldn't even get in the room for, and so he's
hmm,
late to his caroling job
yeah,
and he loses it because he's late. It's
yeah,
just talk about the worst day ever.
yeah. It- so I just saw a version of Christmas Carol, and that was very good, creative, new. And one of the things, and I thought it was so brilliant that they do to make Scrooge Scroogey is he hates carolers. He's like carolers.
I love that.
He's like, get out of my way, carolers. And he has like literally a sign. There's no carolers.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
A pretty clever way.
Yeah, that's a nice way to kind of show just how grumpy he is. He can't
Yeah.
even tolerate a few songs.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see the Christmas Above the Clouds?
I sure
Did you
did.
like that one?
I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I
I
thought it
loved
was,
it.
they finally did like a real Christmas Carol.
And it was very
on Hallmark.
clever. I loved the setting of having it on a
Mhm.
plane. That was
I
so
did too.
funny, and
It
how all the
was,
different ghosts were like
yeah,
an air marshal and
yeah.
a flight attendant. Just great. Well done.
Yeah, and how Marlene, the chains were seat belts,
Yes.
stuff like that. It was
Yes.
so I
So
really enjoyed it.
clever.
Yeah. But so we have let's see here. So he goes in, he sees he sees Aurora at school, and then find out that uh they need help directing the show. And so Heather's character is there helping, and her character didn't get as much like character growth
Yeah.
as his character did,
hmm
but she was very very charming. She's so beautiful. I
I
mean,
love her.
whew,
I really love her.
yeah. I mean, I really think if I was making a list of the most beautiful people who've ever been in a Hallmark movie, she'd be top five.
Yeah. She's
She's
gorgeous.
and talented.
Yeah.
She's very good too, and they had good enough chemistry. It wasn't
hmm
amazing like in We Met in December, but
Yeah.
it was good enough, I think, for them, and that worked. And another scene with them with the characters dancing, which was really
hmm
nice,
Yeah.
and so I liked that. We have his sister is basically like becoming an Etsy store
Yeah.
thing
Her
with
little candle
these.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah, she's making it out of teacups, and there's wishes
hmm
associated with like wishing candles,
I
which was
like
fun.
that. I
It's
want
cute.
one. I'll
I
take
know.
one.
Yeah, yeah. So that was nice. And then we have that like again the thing that made him the most unlikable was the fact that not only was he going to use the not only was he going to use the high school play to impress this producer that he hadn't been able to audition for, he is literally going to use the entire second act of the show. He's literally casting himself.
The
I mean,
fact
I
that
was like, what?
he went on to cast
Yeah,
himself was bananas.
it's so,
Like, I could not believe the audacity in
yeah,
a high school performance.
yeah.
And his
And
niece is trying to like stick up for him. Oh my gosh.
and so there's so the daughter of this producer, I think her name was Miranda, or
I forget.
I forget her name. Yeah,
Santos.
Miranda. Miranda. So she is very, very nervous and scared, but uh, because this is like she knows like her mom is a big deal, so that isn't very natural. That
hmm
if your parents were super good at something, like you're going to be self conscious
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
doing it. So she's scared, she's nervous, but he makes her the understudy to him.
Because he is such a jerk.
Yeah, he is. Uh, but then we have some flashbacks to his sort of big Broadway show,
hmm
and that was like a big moment. I mean, I think it seems like he's supposed to be like Jeremy Jordan or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, then we have um so he writes the second act, and he doesn't even care that it doesn't have anything to do with the one act that they already have. And
No.
they're all like, what, this like two different scripts jammed together, which made me laugh because that's
hmm
literally what it is.
hmm
uh, they have the different auditions, the girl singing "Oh Holy Night,"
hmm
and that that he gives her this pep talk, and then he sings it. And I think that also does help. It helps you forgive him being selfish because he is not selfish many times.
He
through
does
the,
care about these kids,
I
and
mean,
you
his
can
doing this
tell.
at all is unselfish,
Yeah,
as far as helping the school.
yeah,
He doesn't have to do that on his trip back home.
right.
Um, and then we have, we also have a couple other students. Like there's this guy, Steven. He's on the skateboard. And then, and he's like, I don't think I can do it. And he says, a fool is someone who never takes a risk. And so
Good
that was
line.
nice
Mm-hmm.
moments with the
Mm-hmm.
students.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcasts, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
He is trying to help his sister get in the Christmas spirit because she's basically just so overwhelmed with these teacups.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts up the lights and again, more unselfish behavior. So I think that
Right.
tempers him casting himself in the high
Oh
school
my
play.
gosh. Unbelievable.
So they have a pretty early kiss in
Mm-hmm.
this,
Yep.
which was fun.
And it was a good one.
Yeah, that was nice. And the dance, like I said, the dance. There's a recurring thing about the snow machine not working,
Yeah.
which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
And then they go out caroling to give Miranda confidence, which was fun.
Yeah. Very
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah, and they sing Silent Night, and she says, Miranda says that she wants him to basically be her mentor, and he's like, I don't want to be anybody's mentor. People shouldn't look up to me, and and then he says, my show is going to be a disaster, and they're like, you mean our show?
Yeah. Our show, dude. It's not
Yeah.
just about you.
Yeah. And that's when Noah comes to help, which was very sweet.
Very
Again, it helps you feel better about him as a character, that he has
Mhm.
friends. And then he sings in front of Miranda's mom, and then she offers him the callback. So I'm like, that was the thing that made this interesting, is that his finagling, it worked.
It worked. Mm-hmm.
Him casting himself was smart.
Mm-hmm. It worked.
Yeah.
Because she says at the beginning, she's like, get in a production that I'll actually go and see it. And he takes that to heart.
And then Heather's character says, you did all of this to impress Cindy Santos.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're a great actor. I'll say that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good
He
line.
is not having it. And I don't blame her
No,
one bit.
I don't either. And so Miranda's going to go on as Randolph, and then he, like I said, I was very surprised that not only does it work and he gets the audition, but he goes to the audition. Yeah, I was not expecting that. And then he says, "Can I talk to you?" to Cindy, and he's like, "You need to be there for Miranda. You have to see her as Randolph Bell. She's brilliant, and we can make it in time." That was effective.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
and then he says to them, "My role is to support you. Broadway's got nothing on you guys."
Oh,
it was very
sweet.
Yes. And then I made a wish on Jess's candles to get my life back, and that wish came true.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize what he was really missing. He had been
Mm-hmm.
all about the career, but he also missed his family and
Mm-hmm.
community and giving back and all of that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's why this worked for me. I can't remember what it's called. There's an old Hallmark movie with Sarah Lancaster where I found it, and Brendan Penny, where it was frustrating to me because she finally, it's a similar plot where she finally gets the big opportunity on Broadway after she's been helping with the school at home. And she doesn't do it because she picks the family and the kids and the whatever. Whereas
hmm,
I feel like this is more satisfying because he he chooses this, and it's not like, I don't know. I like it better when he kind of got his opportunity to do both.
yeah,
He wasn't like, forget my career,
yeah,
and instead I'm gonna go, hometown, and
be
gonna
a
work at the
teacher.
school and whatever. Like, he got to
Yeah,
do both,
yeah.
which I like. And that it's not my wish. My dream is not to be on Broadway. My wish is to be with you. That was nice.
Oh,
Yeah. And he says that is the drama position still open, which
yes,
is
it
very
is.
fun. Yeah. And the snow machine is working, and
I liked that moment.
they're like, we need you to do one more thing for us. And then that's him doing the like dramatic reading of the the night before Christmas. The
It was a very
the
silly ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Which was fun. So that is the Snow Must Go On. I think that it managed to do a very hard thing
hmm,
in Hallmark, in its lead character, and making it enjoyable, even though he really was pretty selfish.
yeah. He was unlikable.
He was. He
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
but I was still
So
entertained.
I was too. And I'm sure part of it is just because, I just love Wait. And I love all the
Yeah,
singing, the music, everything.
yeah,
But I'll be curious what our listeners think of this one, because I could
yeah,
picture it being divisive.
yeah, for sure. Because he is tough to get behind,
Mm-hmm.
and that, can really affect your viewing of this
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Yeah. So I would give this one like, I give it like a 3.5.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.
Or, yeah. Yep. Very good. Well, let us know what you think of these two movies. We'd love to hear your comments in the comments section. And what did you think of the chemistry and the characters and all that fun stuff? We'd love to hear what you think. And thank you so much, Dory, for coming on and doing this. And congratulations, 10 years.
Thank
Unbelievable.
you for having me. Thank you for all of your support over the years. It means a lot.
Absolutely. And then make sure you all check out all the feels and their recaps. The bracket going pretty good.
Bracket's going good.
That's good.
I'm telling you, it's been really nice this year because of the fewer movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the bracket was a breeze to make because there were only 2 movies premiering most
Yeah,
weekends.
it's
So
true.
yeah.
It's true. Well, definitely also check it out. We'll have a link to all the fills in the description. So that is super fun. And do you have any other like social media or anything like that you want to share?
You can just find us at All the Feels Pod on Twitter. We're still some of the last holdouts
Yes.
on Twitter.
Yeah. I still like Twitter.
I know.
I just like the format. I like the quick, the
I like the format
like
too.
the play. It's like play by play of my life.
Yeah.
I just like it.
Yeah, me too.
So,
I can't
mm,
just give it up yet, but
no,
I
no.
understand those who have. I get it.
Yeah. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes, and at KSL Movie Show on Fridays. So make sure to check that out. I would really appreciate it. And you can follow Hallmarkies Podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews for both of our podcasts. That helps us so much. And it's so hard to get reviews.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest thing. And so if you take a second and leave your reviews, we would so appreciate it. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're really, really trying to get to 10K subscribers by the end of the year on YouTube. And most of our viewers on, like 85% of our viewers on YouTube are not subscribers. So if we could just get like a few, like 10% of those to actually subscribe, it would help us so much. So please, please, please do that. We would really appreciate it. And we have our patron group, like we mentioned. We have cool patron experiences with somebody like Nina. In November, we had for our patron event, we had Tracy Andreen and Lee Friedlander, and we watched Switch for Christmas, the old Candace Cameron Bure one. And it was so fun.
CCB.
Yeah, It was a blast to find out how it was made and the visual effects and the other stuff. So that is a lot of fun that you get to have if you be a patron. Plus, we now have, with the Patreon, you can listen to the episodes of both Rachel's reviews and Hallmarkies podcast ad-free. So if you don't want the ads, you can do that now, which is super cool. So check that out. And we have our merch store where we have tons of fun holiday designs. We've got Hallmark-inspired designs. So if you're looking for something for the Hallmarky, the Hardy, the Postable in your life, we've got it. Just the general movie fan, we've got lots of cool stuff. The theater fan, we've got some cool theater designs. Check that all out. We'd sure appreciate it. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.